Hi, thank you for your question. I gotta do my spiel first. My name is MJ. I'm a trans man. I've had top surgery. I just chose to leave fat because I'm a bigger dude and I felt like it went better with my body composition. I always joke that like I'm probably the only guy on the planet that was ecstatic to get man boobs. Okay, so when I had top surgery, I was probably about 245 pounds in that ballpark range. I wasn't that much heavier than I am now. However, before I go into what I'm about to say, I need to illustrate how important top surgery was for me. And not to say it's not for you because it might be, but you know, I do think my advice really hinges on how important top surgery is for somebody to lead, like, you know, a quality, fulfilling life. My gender dysphoria was such a hindrance on my life that even before I transitioned, even before I socially transitioned, just when like I was presenting as a masculine lesbian, I still was looking into top surgery. I remember confiding in one of my friends who was a trans man, and he's like, "But aren't you a lesbian? Like, why do you want this?" But it was gender dysphoria was literally, it was just, I don't know how else to say it, a huge hindrance on my life. I really struggled. It really affected my quality of life. And surgery for me was life-changing. It was life-saving. It drastically improved my quality of life. For me, I would say that top surgery was not a choice. I know there's people out there who will ignore facts, who will ignore like actual evidence and say gender affirming surgeries in general, they are just an option. But it's literally been clinically proven that when it comes to gender dysphoria, the most effective way to treat it is to transition. Now, if your gender dysphoria, like, you know, in the chest area or whatever, is literally to the point where it is like impacting the quality of your life to a standard that you're not comfortable with, similar to what I was dealing with, my advice, if you're in the US anyways, I don't know how it works as much in other countries, is to find a different surgeon. Now I gotta do the whole, I'm not a doctor, you know what I mean? But seriously, if it is hindering your life just as much as it did mine, then my suggestion would be to seek out a doctor who does not have the same like BMI I went to 2 different consultations, and the first one was like this real high-class spa type place, I don't know. And I also had other consultations scheduled. I had filled out paperwork for other places, and not one place mentioned my weight. The only time my weight was brought up is when I spoke with the surgeon that I chose, and we were discussing like how I wanted some fat in my chest to look, you know, natural or whatever. So that's the only time my weight was mentioned. Now, the reason I put so much, like, you know, stress and emphasis on, you know, gender dysphoria and how much it's impacting your life is because a lot of these BMI limits and stuff that surgeons put on, like, I mean, they serve a purpose. They're not there for no reason. Obviously, in some situations, including being under anesthesia, there is a heightened risk, you know, if you're carrying more weight. But I don't think that's always a realistic standard to trans people specifically. The reason I say that is because obviously, and trigger warning, I'm going to mention something sensitive, in our community, you know, unaliving is so common, and the main factor, or I shouldn't say the main, a main factor is dysphoria. I think that if surgeons that performed gender-affirming surgeries digested that fact a little bit more, then they'd take it more seriously and they wouldn't put so much emphasis on a BMI limit. The reason I say this is because, yes, being a bigger guy, I had risks with top surgery. I did have complications, not related to my weight, but I did have complications, you know what I mean? But not because there's not risks, but because the risks of anesthesia, are they really higher than the risks of a lot of trans people not having access to surgery? I'm not so sure. So my suggestion to you, not that you really, I'm just kind of like throwing myself in here, you know what I mean, would be to definitely seek out another surgeon if it's something that you feel like you desperately need, like I did. Because I was at a point in my life where I don't know if I could have taken no for an answer. I felt like I had no other option. And there are experienced surgeons that have experience on trans men that are bigger even. So, you know, you don't have to feel like you have to settle for less. Definitely shop around, obviously. I know it can get pricey and stuff, so I know that's a consideration. But I know you'll find somebody who is willing to work with you and just try to be safe and really think things through. And I don't know, hopefully it helps. Thank you for your question. So I have to do my PSA first. My name is MJ. I'm a trans man. I've had top surgery. You can kind of see my scars. I chose to leave fat because I'm a bigger dude. I felt like it went with my physique a little bit more, like it made me pass more, it looks a little bit more natural. So obviously I'm covered in a lot of like not so great tattoos. I mean, I do have a lot of professional tattoos, but the majority I did myself. 0 out of 10 not recommended. Obviously it's not safe. Nobody should do it. Am I going to stop doing it? Probably not. I don't know. But just listen, I gotta do my warnings, no liabilities. Not that anybody should take heed of what I say as great advice, but I mean, when I got this king tattoo, 2 more people got king tattoos, so I gotta be careful. So when I did my tattoos, I literally had one goal in mind, and that was to pass more, and it worked, because when I go out, people see my tattoos that they're all black mostly, and they're kind of like, not great looking, they don't look very professional, and they automatically assume that either I served a long time in prison or I just got out of prison, which is funny, because if anybody knows anybody that really did time in prison, these are way worse than prison tattoos. Prison tattoos are gorgeous, amazing artwork, but I achieved my goal, so I can't say I regret it. A lot of times when I do videos where like my number tattoo show, people will be like, oh my god, are those gang tattoos? Yeah, right. I spend my time doing crossword puzzles and tending to chickens and ducks, so no. But they do all stand for something. So 1990, that's when I was born, 603, born and raised in New Hampshire. I also have 978 because that's where my family's from, not me, but my family's from, the Methuen-Lawrence area. And then what else? 629, that's my marriage date. 415, my father loves the Haight-Ashbury district, and so I got that for him. What else? Let's see. I know I have more numbers on me. Oh, 2013, you can barely see that because I'm fat, but that's when my son was born. What else do I have? Oh, 353, that's Ireland's country code. What else? I think that's it, right? I think that's it. But that's what all the numbers stand for, so they're nothing like, super mysterious, just, things that are significant to my life, my past, and people I love. So yeah, thank you for your question. So you guys, I live in New Hampshire, and it's raining really heavy here right now. We're getting like the aftermath of the Vermont flooding. So a lot of people were asking, because I darkened my beard and I, dye it and everything. They're like, aren't you worried about sweating or being in the rain? And, is it waterproof? What about swimming? So we're gonna test it. So I've been in the rain already now for probably like 3 minutes. As you can see, it's all over me. And then I'm going to also show you in the shower, I'll show you my face and how it really doesn't come off. That's a lot of water. Also, just to tell you, I am a farmer, a poultry farmer. You can hear my rooster. And so I shovel shit and sweat a lot, and it withholds all of that. So I don't know if you can see, but my face is wet. And yeah, my beard is still intact. I have no setting spray on, so... Alright you guys, I'm back inside. I'm still really wet from the rain. I wanted to show you what product I use right now for my beard, so hold on. So right now I use this just for men. It's basically mascara, okay? It's mascara in the men's section, that's basically what it is. But it does stay on a little bit better than mascara. I use the Great Lash one when I don't have this. It's in dark brown, so that's what I use. Yeah, so we're gonna go test it in the shower, and I'll show you that I literally have to scrub my face to get it off. I knew the reason I darken my facial hair is because genetically, I just don't get a lot. I was on testosterone for years, and I don't get a shit ton of facial hair. It grows more than this, but it's very spotty and patchy and stuff, so I darken it, and yeah. I'm a trans man, so, I'm really trying to pass more, and so that's vital in passing is, facial hair, especially when you have a baby face like me. So now I'm in the shower. I am going to see how many times, I literally think it would be infinity that I can, literally put water directly onto my face and not have, the beard stuff come off. I'm spraying it directly on the beard. Still there. I said I was going to count how many times, but this is I'm directly putting it on. It's still there. I wish I knew about this when I was a chick, or I wish they had this when I was a chick. I would have used it for mascara. I'll put it on like the intense setting. Still there. I will scrub my face and then come back, so I'll be right back. So remember this, what this looks like. As you can see, even though it's darkened a little bit, like you can kind of see it, it's barely noticeable. So it works for me. My name is MJ. I'm a trans man. I started medically transitioning about 7 years ago when I was 26 years old. I'm 33 now, but I had to go off testosterone because my liver started to fail on it. I was on testosterone for 3 years though, and just because genetically the men in my family do not really grow beards, I don't have that much facial hair, and what I do get is very light, and in order to pass more, sometimes I enhance it. I dye my hair and my eyebrows with Just for Men, so that it will match my facial hair. I also use this product, which is from Just for Men. I used mascara before that. It's literally the same thing. It's in dark brown. So yeah, I'll show you how I enhance the facial hair and make it more apparent. Obviously, it doesn't look like a full beard, but enough to help me pass in public as male. And so yeah, it works for me, and I don't have to use a setting spray with this one. I also have a video where I like tested it against water. It literally does not come off my face. I farm, so I shovel shit. I'm sweating all day. I've been in the rain. I've done like a test in the shower. This stuff is like, it does not come off unless you scrub it. So I make sure like everything is dry. I get most of whatever little I do get right here, and so I just enhanced it, just like their eyelashes. See that? It's already showing a huge difference. Sometimes you don't even realize that you have facial hair if you have blonde hair until you darken it. Look at it's like a violin. Now, since it doesn't have a lot of mascara, let's be real, left on it, I go and I darken what's around here. I don't want a lot of mascara on the brush because then it will like just look like streaks, you know what I mean? Now I'll get more on it, but I really still don't want a lot, so. And then I'm gonna do my sideburns. I just pull down from my, regular hair. And then sometimes I will just go like this and it kind of like blends it in. Don't pay attention to this, I'm fixing it, just shut up. I'll have women in my comments. Hey, Ryan, it looks so fake. You didn't even let me fucking finish, shut up. I want to get rid of all those, like, clumps of it. So yeah, that's how I do it. And it's not a full beard, it's not a lot of facial hair, it's uneven, but nobody's gonna question it. Nobody's gonna be like, that dude with a patchy, uneven beard drew that on. I'm not trying to go into Walgreens looking like a cross between Tony Soprano and Santa Claus, you know what I mean? It just looks like I'm growing out my facial hair, which I am, so works for me. I don't know, Spike. Depends on the year. 2005 to the beginning of 2006, I was a chick. The remainder of 2006 to 2007-ish, I was a dude. 2008, I was a chick again. I have pictures for every year, but let's move this forward. 2011, chick. Yes, that's the same person. 2013, pregnant chick. 2016 to 2017, dude. 2019, mega dude. 2020, chick. The rest of 2020 to now, dude again. Nobody has to cry I've had top surgery. And I know you're asking yourself, how does that happen? What in the hell occurred in your life that made you want to go back and forth from male to female so many times? And I'll tell you, as you can see, back when I presented as a woman, I liked a lot of older, very unique looking earrings. Here's another. And we all know what happens when you fuck around with those types of earrings.